Well, here we go. Today I showed up at the site, and what happened was the office got the days messed up, so instead of going home for a few days, I could have been home for a few days. They sent me out here to Vegas, out in this remote location, out behind the mountains, and the situation is there's a level of sometimes miscommunication that can cause you to be in a spot that you're not supposed to be at in that particular day. But nonetheless, whether it's incompetence or a mistake or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to frame it as, this is the situation. And there's an old Chinese proverb that says, never argue with reality. And the reality is, people, that here we are. We're in Vegas, and we're on the outskirts. And I know a lot of people, they tell you how beautiful Vegas is and what a beautiful place it is. Now, where the countryside is actually pretty beautiful, I just want you to see, if you look along the sides of the roads, the trash and debris is rivaled by nothing, I would say, other than Elizabeth, New Jersey. I mean, this is really, you're not seeing it fully right here, but there's going to be areas on this road going to the site where people are just dumping tires and televisions and couches. It's such a beautiful area, and to think that people would just come out here and instead of paying the money to go to a landfill and get rid of it properly, they just come out here because it's free. They just go ahead and dump it. So when you're going to these tire shops, and you see them out here a lot, they're I mean, why beat around the bush? They're Mexican or Spanish tire shops that are just they're low end. We're gonna find you a tire cheap, but you wonder, are they the ones that are coming out here when at the end of the day and dumping these tires, or is it the large corporations? You do the math, and you come up with the conclusion that you can draw. But the situation is, I don't think it's Firestone dumping the tires out here. I don't think it's Cooper that's dumping the tires out here. I don't think it's all the big tire companies that are trashing the place. I want to say it's the mom and pop shops that don't want to pay to get rid of the tires after they charged you, the consumer. They charged you the long limousine dollar, but they just bring them out here on a flatbed and dump them. And it's a situation that really is kind of hideous, you know, to think that they would come out here and do that, but that's the state of where we're at. You know, this is a situation. Vegas itself, if you were to drive through Vegas, maybe I'll do a small video. Vegas itself is a very dirty city. Now, I did find a hotel. Most of the hotels smell like cigarettes, and they stink. But I did find a Marriott that actually doesn't stink. It smells very beautiful inside. It's a higher end hotel, so you're not going to get the people that are basically smoking cigarettes and just trashing the place. The bathrooms stink, everything else. This hotel I'm in, it actually is a very nice hotel. And while you're out here, you don't want to have to lay your head down after a 12 or 14. See, here's tires here. You don't want to lay your head down after a 12 or 14 hour day and have to smell cigarettes in the mattress. If you're a smoker, I mean, maybe you'd like that type of thing, but the rest of the planet, I don't think that we want to lay our head down on a sheet that smells like a cigarette ashtray. But now you're coming up on some of it here. You can see the garbage on the sides, and people are just throwing things out. These tractor trailers are going to a large drywall factory, and there's a huge gypsum. I think it's a gypsum factory where they make all the drywall. They're bringing in products. Now look here to your left. You'll see the garbage. You'll see the tires. You'll see a situation that says Why would you just come out here and dump the tires when they're about $3 each to get rid of them? Well, there you go. It always boils down to the money. And as you can see, they have no shame. It's a beautiful mountainside country, but you have to deal with the, look here slowly on the left, couches and mattresses and tires, glass and trash. So if you think to yourself, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to see a beautiful city, I'm going to see a beautiful countryside, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder to a certain extent, but I want you to go back in time, if you're old enough, to go 15, 20 years back, when we didn't have the influx of people coming in this country who don't value our land. And I want you to think about a time when you would travel these roads and see nothing but God's beautiful array of beauty instead of Firestone tires on the side of the beauty that God had created. It's still a beautiful country if you lift your eyes up above the sidelines of the road, but nonetheless, it's still there. There's trash, there's waste that people think that it's normal just to come out here and throw this on the side of the road. And who picks this up? Who takes care of this? Well, it's either going to be a government-funded program, okay, the cities or the towns, that eventually that money comes from the taxpayer. So not only are we putting up with the migration from possibly illegals doing this and destroying our land, we're also having to pay for and fund the cleanup process. So this isn't a political rant. This is just a stated fact of what I'm observing. You know, I used to do it back in my other life. I used to do construction and road work and construction, building house. There's a bunch of mattresses. And you know, the thing of it was roughly $60 to $70 to get rid of a ton, literally 1 ton of debris was $60 or $70, which if you figure it into the job, people, it's not that hard of a situation to actually dispose of it properly. And you know, let's just say, for example, it's $100 a ton. Now, it's still, if you bid it in the job, it's still a doable thing that you don't have to litter your communities. But maybe the people that are doing this don't really feel as though this is their community and their land. This is just an opportunity to make a quick buck and to charge someone the disposal fee and then go ahead and drive it out here and dump it on the sides of the roads. Maybe your boy Bride just sees things differently, you know. But as Americans, we're getting fed up, you know. We're getting fed up, and we're getting to a position that says we just don't want to deal with this no more and tolerate this no more. But there it is. There's the back road. Now we're going to come up through the interperspective area. It's supposed to be where you're supposed to ride through and think and interperspect. But you'll have to be the judge of it yourself. And the mountains themselves are very beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get on the main highway here, and your boy Bryce is gonna talk to you while he drives, because you don't need to see me, you need to see the scenery. And this is coming the backside of Vegas. These are where people drive. You can pull off anywhere out here and you can actually camp. I don't know if I recommend that with the amount of transients and illegals that are coming through this area. I think I would, at the very least, I would pack a firearm, something to defend yourself if you needed to, and possibly a shovel to dispose of the evidence afterwards. I don't advocate illegal activities. However, we're in a situation in this country that, you know, you as the good guy are going to be prosecuted if you defend yourself. It's kind of a crazy situation. But you may need a shovel to dispose of if you have to use the restroom, or you don't want to leave any feces or any toilet paper on top of the soil. You want to kind of bury that, so to speak. That's why I would say bring a shovel, a spaded shovel, to cut through the hard pack. But yeah, be safe if you're going to be out here, people. There's a lot of dangers that are hidden in these hills. The beauty is the beauty. The part that actually is untouchable by, say, the human touch. Not too many people are going to climb these mountains and do any kind of vandalism. But they will throw the garbage out on the side of the roads. But we're on the back side of Vegas, and we're going to actually do a small video possibly of going through Vegas that says this is really the real Vegas, and you're going to see a bunch of homeless people, a very I would say run-down situation. I mean, I've been all over the world. Your boy Bry's been in third world countries. He's been to Africa. He's been to South America. I've been everywhere. And the one thing I will say is that element that you see in some of those parts of the world, you're starting to see here in America now. And to be honest with you, I don't think that they're acclimating to the land of milk and honey. I think they're trying to make it what they're familiar with, which is the land of dumpsters and filth. So you can they say, there's an old saying, you can take the boy out the country, but you can't take the country out the boy. And I think there should be another saying in 2025, is you can take the illegal citizen out of the third world country, but you can't take the third world country out of the illegal. Here's where people kind of camp and park, and there's little paths you can walk up the mountain. As you can see off in the distance, that is the city. That is Vegas. More garbage bags on the sidelines. Bottles and cans and couches. This is where the despot and the reprobate go in the evening to discard the waste of their daily activities. But as you can see off in the distance, that is Las Vegas, Nevada. We will drive on through and we'll say to ourselves, there's a bunch of, right back there, the plastic holders that the Pepsi guy shows up with, and he brings all the Pepsi into the store, all the plastic bottle holders, the little trays, them are all discarded to the side. I noticed that. And all through the sides you're going to see bottles and cans and waste. And there's really not a cleanup effort, because who's going to come do this on their own? Who's going to come do it? Interperspective site. That's what they call it. And there you are to your immediate left. If you look over there, you'll see the actual the strip. Now these houses right here towards the mountains are actually pretty nice. These townhouses or complexes. As you get in closer to the city, you're going to see despair. But we will save that for another video. This is your boy Bry. We are driving into Vegas, and we're saying we should have been working today and would have got me home one day sooner. But instead, a mistake, an error, a typographical error, a situation that says maybe incompetence played a role. We don't know. But they sent me off and dispatched me a day early. And if you remember, your boy Bry came out of Illinois, and the situation was I basically risked my life through a snowstorm to get to the airport. needlessly now, looking back in the eyes of hindsight. So we're here, we're in Vegas, and we have a day to drive around and look at the trash and filth, I guess. But here's the other thing in Vegas. You know, you don't really find a lot of really quality. You'd think you would find really quality food here, but even the Spanish food, I ate at a Mexican place last night. It was, out of a scale of 10, it was 6 at best. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great. Very bland. Unlike California and unlike Texas, you will find good food there. You will not find the most authentic, we'll say, food here. I did see a seafood place, but that kind of was like, I don't think so. They advertise, East Coast lobster and shrimp and crab legs, but we're in the desert, people. Everything is covered with dirt and dust. The only thing I'll say here that is a good situation is you can find a lot of older vehicles. And if you know anything about your boy Bry, he's the type of guy that really would prefer an older vehicle, unlike, let's say, the new generation. Everything has to be within 2 years. I have to have the new vehicle. I have to have the greatest and the latest. I have to have the biggest bells and whistles. Your boy Bry does not like that. He likes to have a crank window. He likes to have a radio that clicks on and clicks off. He does not like all the bells and whistles and the AI and all of the sensors that are in these new vehicles. I don't like it. Your boy Bry likes to open the door and back up like a farmer, as a farmer should. You cannot always rely on these cameras on the back of the vehicles. I had a situation on I was towing something here recently, and the fella said, "Turn your backup camera. Look in your backup camera and watch me hitch up the coupler onto the trailer." And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Wow, I really can't judge that." His fingers are down there, and I'm like, I don't think so. I really don't think so, people. So, you know, your boy Bry likes to have the hand signal. And he likes to have the stop signal. He really doesn't like to say, when I sister someone's fingers off in the coupling and the ball, I really don't want them to say to me, you couldn't see me in the camera. No, I couldn't see you in the camera. It wasn't that intricate. Sorry. So I'd rather just give me a hand signal, and then once I bring the hitch over the top of the ball, or the coupler over the top of the ball, then you could stop me with a visual hand signal, and then we could lower the hitch down. How about we do it like that? Because your boy Bry is not one of these AI types. He is an old school type. And he is a situation that says, if it's a manual situation, you can counteract it and you can see what's happening with it. If it's an electronic situation, they're not always the answer, people. Not for a Gen Xer, and definitely not for your friend Bry. But yeah, we're driving down here and we're saying to ourselves, I would love to get me some breakfast, but everything is a roadside barista, so to speak. And it's kind of a sketchy situation. Unless you go into one of the casinos and find something. And even in there, it's a big cigarette fest. And if you smoke cigarettes and if you're offended, you know, I'm sorry about that, but I get offended at the smoke and the stench that comes from it. You've been acclimated, apparently, to the cigarette odor and the smell that becomes part of your musk and a part of your aroma that's about your skin and your hair. That's not my style. You know, your boy Bry likes to take a half hour to 40 minute shower every night, and he likes to soak in the shower and get any bit of the day's grime off of him. He doesn't want to have to smell his clothing constantly, you know, of cigarettes. But this is your boy Bry. We are out here in Vegas, and if we find anything more interesting, we'll come back at you live. But for now, we're going to sign off, and we're going to say, maybe we could go find a sarsaparilla to sip off of and try to get some hydration. It's dry in the high desert. The other thing you'll notice is you'll start to get crystallization in your nose. You'll be like, wow, what is that sharp stuff in my nose? That's all your mucus drying up and becoming shards of glass, if you will. So you're going to want to have to think about maybe putting some moisturizer in your nose and keeping your nose maybe saline and salt solution to mist in there to keep the surfaces moist and not dried up. But we will go ahead and sign off for now. We're in Las Vegas, and we thought we were going to work today, and what a disappointment to not be able to actually do the job. So now I'm one more day further into the situation, which means I will be traveling home Saturday. And on the only silver horizon, I would say, the silver lining in the horizon will be that Saturday is a full day of overtime. Today is Veterans Day. If you're out there and you're a veteran, we like to say hats off to you and thank you for your sacrifice and for your courage to step forth when you were possibly a young person and say, I'm going to go ahead and lay my life on the line and go in service of the country. So hats off to you. I am getting 8 hours right out of the gate, plus another 12 hours, so we will be maximizing the overtime today as well. And that is what your boy